Camera rolling, audio rolling, and action.
Wagwan, my youth. I am with my sister.
Yeah, I'm looking like the duet, you see me? Yeah.
Now it's good. It's your boy Matt. I'm interviewing
Wilhelmina Jones.
and we're in her section today.
Already. Thank you for coming down to Perrine. You already know what it is. Come up Miami. Yeah.
We in the Betty.
You see me?
All right, so this is the elementary school you went to? Pine Lake Elementary?
Yes. What's good? First of all, shout out to you for coming down here, you know what I'm saying?
Perrine,
The Perrine representing from where I'm from, down south. And I don't think a lot of people even know that I'm from here.
No. I actually thought you was I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing to know.
Make a left up here. I definitely gotta take you to the hood. We gotta get some conch. That's my first stop. I gotta grab me some conch since you down this way. Yeah.
Well, no, for real, I really thought you was from Opelika. I really did. There's nothing wrong with being from Opelika. I got friends from Opelika.
I ain't saying it was
like 22nd, not like 22nd Avenue, not 27th Avenue.
Oh, I didn't say it was anything wrong with being from Opelika. I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't think or don't know that I'm from down south.
No, I didn't. And I only knew about like Mike Smith being from down here.
Oh, yeah.
But is Mike Smith further down, or is like?
He's from actually, I think,
Richmond
Exit 1, no, like Homestead.
Oh.
Shout out to Mike Smith.
Is that like what, extra 30 minutes drive down south?
I ain't gonna say extra 30, maybe like 20. Are you trying to mud it right now? Like, cause they say that, you know what I'm saying, coming down south is like we out of town.
Nah,
like
y'all not out of tune. Literally, I ain't gonna lie. I went to the Family Dollar and the lady was like, "Poppy, $4.28." I was like, "Dang, I thought I was in the hood." But it's cool, you know.
Yeah.
It's not that bad though. It wasn't that bad of a drive. You guys are like right next to Miami Zoo. So.
Where you from?
Me? I'm from Miami Shores.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But nah, you said we about to go to your
Yeah, I appreciate you coming down and checking me out. You know, I gotta go real quick. I gotta grab me a cup of conch because it's only right. You in my hood, so you know it ain't really.
Take me to the conch spot.
Yeah, I'm taking you there by force.
So you went to 2 elementary schools? You went to...
Yeah, the first school we passed was actually the first elementary school I went to, Pine Lake Elementary.
How long you was there for?
JIT school, that was only like to the third grade. Yeah.
You got kicked out?
Don't play.
No, I'm just asking. I mean, everybody want to know. I mean, it's cool. I mean,
No. I was a good kid. I didn't get into no problems like that.
What made you switch schools?
I ain't switched that. You know, that first one was from like kindergarten to third. And then, matter of fact, we better pass my other school on the way to the conch place, and that was like third to sixth grade.
A lot of people, when they hear about Empress, they only think about shout out to Bel Air, shout out to Rick Ross, shout out to We the Best, but they don't know that you started off in radio. Well, actually, you went to school for journalism and PR, correct?
Yeah.
You went to FAMU first, and then you went to Georgia State. So talk about like the transition from FAMU or choosing FAMU and then going to Georgia State.
I don't know how you know so much about me. This Vlad TV?
This right? No.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure
I'm not teaching Vlad. Nah.
All right. You said, my bad.
No, you going to FAMU and then being under T-Pain, doing a record with T-Pain, and then transferring and going to Georgia State.
It's my elementary school right
At the
here,
Beckford?
by the way. No, it was called Richmond Elementary.
They changed the name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Richmond Elementary School. But you said people want to know about. I want to know how the hell you know all this stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, talking about songs with T-Pain and all this.
Like a record with T-Pain. I mean, I just did my research. Like, I just did my research. Shout out to the people that helped me with this interview. You know who you are.
Feds?
Nah, not the feds. Nah. I'm not the feds. I'm not the feds. But nah, like, cause that's dope. And that was around the time where T-Pain was hot, right?
Or he was
yeah,
getting
so
it.
I started, like you said, I went to school. I started off at FAMU, and then I ended up transferring to Georgia State because, you know, a lot of people, they start from Miami to FAMU and they never finish. Like, and I just decided, it was a lot of bad stuff actually happened to me when I was in school. So I decided that, you know, I needed a change of scenery. I wanted more. Like the first time I visited Atlanta when I was a child, it was just something about the city where I was like, nah, like I wanna go to school here. I wanna grow up here, but you know, we're gonna make it right here. It's a complex. But it was something about Atlanta that drew me to Atlanta as a child that I knew like I wanted to live there or whatever at some point. So I ended up transferring to Georgia State because I shoot my shot and I ended up getting an internship with Outkast.
Oh, that's big. You can't just say it like that. That's like infamous Outkast. That's Big Boy. That's Andre. Like
3 Stacks.
So you were in a studio with them, or you just walking around with them? Like, what did you do with them? Like, that's Andre 3000.
Yeah, 3 Stacks, man. I was a jit. I left probably FAMU like when I was 19. So, like I said, I just wanted more. A lot of bad stuff happened to me, and I decided that I wanted to go there. I used to be in the studio, you know, around Killer Mike and all these different dope people. And at the time, I don't even think I knew like how big the situation was, you know. But once I did that, I knew like, okay, I wanted to be in the music industry. So that's definitely made me decide that I wanted to do music, be into music, everything that it had to do it. It was an experience of a lifetime. So just coming in the game like that really inspired me to just be different too, because just being around Outkast is like, that's a different type of.
Yeah, that's a different. They're like, to me, they're one of the top 5 groups to me. So after interning with Outkast, and you came back down to Miami, and you started your own.
Yeah, I was up there for school, but I was an artist at first. A lot of people, if they just know me, like knew they want to know that much about me. But I actually started off as an artist, so. In Atlanta, it was just different. They networked with each other. They helped each other out. They really stuck together, and I saw that. So when I decided to come back home, it was because I had graduated from Georgia State. I was like making a lot of noise up on that scene as far as being an artist. I was winning different talent shows and all this type of stuff. And then I realized, like, you know, nobody back home really knew what was going on with me. So I was like, nah, I gotta come back home with a force, you feel me, and let them know what I was doing. And so it's just like the different things that I learned from Atlanta. But straight, I learned a lot of stuff. I learned how to just record my own music. I ended up getting my own studio. I learned how to record myself. I would be self-sufficient, like and this was before streaming and all that, so you had to really burn CDs and put your shit out there. So
and was
I
that
really
before
learned,
the blog era too?
Yeah, so I really had to learn how to hustle and put your posters out and your flyers and all that type of stuff. And I would be going to different music conferences and shit like that, just learning the game. We about to pull up the Carlos right here, you feel me? Like, it's my spot. If you ever come down south and you want some conch, like, you gotta whoa. Coming out with a force, yo. You gotta pull up on Carlos though, like it's mandatory. Yeah, so just coming into the game like that, I knew I wanted to do something different, and I knew that God like had something bigger for me.
Okay. We're gonna go inside. I want to take a video of you going inside, and then you're gonna order inside too, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask my dog Carlos if it's okay.
Yeah.
Before I just bust up in his spot with the camera.
You want to drive around, or you just want to stay posted up?
You can stay posted.
All right. I got like 5 new follows, bro.
On what?
From you tagging me in that.
On Twitter?
On Twitter.
Oh.
See, you got the force. Nah, but so how did you get to so when you came back down, how did you get the job at 89.1?
Okay, so
I don't want you to say on the fast, because it's gonna be like how I found that out, but
so basically when I came back down from Atlanta, it was actually, I'm gonna say it was like MySpace days was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the first thing of like social media, and that's how I was in Atlanta and making connects with the people in Miami. So you know, shout out to Dread Skeezy. That's somebody who basically
Tommy Scott.
Yeah, when I was in Atlanta, he used to be talking to me on MySpace and be like, yo, you know, when you come down and stuff like that, holler at me, I'm plugged in and everything. And he was going to take me to these different radio stations down here. So I ended up coming and I went to this underground station called 89.1. And before I was even living here, they was already like repping me, playing my music and stuff. So I wanted to meet them and see, you know, who these guys were. And so I ended up getting cool with the owner over the station. And one day he was like, you know, I really like your vibe and your personality and stuff like that. Why don't you get a show on the station? And something actually happened where it was DJ Phil and Blondie. They were having a show and I was there. And something happened with her. She wasn't there. So I jumped on the air live or whatever, and the people was feeling the kid. You feel me? So I was just like, yeah, I was just like, dang, this was fun, because at the time when I was going to school for journalism and everything, I had no desire to do media. I just wanted to be an artist. So I was like, you trying me? I'm a rapper. I look like I want to be on the radio to you. And saluting him, because that kind of gave me a direction of where to go as I evolved. And I started doing media. I had a show on 89.1 on Saturdays, and it had the streets on fire. Like everybody was calling in. Even DJ Khaled called in.
And that was your first interview.
Who?
DJ Khaled?
He wasn't my first interview. What you talking about is probably a clip you saw on YouTube. Yeah. I was still at that point an artist, and I was trying to finesse my ways to figure out how could I get on the radio. So they had like a competition at 99 Gems about being a guest host DJ or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this so I could get in Khaled face, and I just went and did it. And the first time I didn't make it into the finals, and then my homegirl, shout out to Rockstar Diva and Pretty Hustler, she was like, yo, they doing another one. I think you did good. You should try to get back into the second, wave in the second round. So when I went to that one, I made it, and then I got into the thing with Khaled, and I made it to the finals. And once I interviewed him and how the crowd reacted to me, I was like, oh shit, like, okay, I'm up to something. And then, like I said, once the thing happened at 89.1, and I was like, oh, okay, they feeling me. I was like, this a way that now I can break my own music. So I decided, I was like, I'm about to get on the radio so I could play my own music. It was my real reason of getting on there at first. And then I came here, I made a buzz with my music, and then the radio, and it was just like somebody told me eventually, like, you're gonna have to choose what path you want to take. And at first I was doing it, you know, good for a while, and then it became overwhelming. And then everybody, once I went from 89.1, I ended up doing internet radio, and it was like everybody wanted to interview for me, so it started being more popular than even my music. So I was like, okay, I ended up, you know, going towards the media route, and it was just as fun as rapping to me, because I still got to be a part of entertainment. I still got to be part of culture. I still got a chance to interview these artists that I realized when I was doing all these shows. I was like, damn, you know, in Miami, there's no outlet. Like, you're not going to be able to get an interview on the radio at this point in time. It was very hard for artists to be heard, and I was performing with a lot of talented people, and I was like, damn, like, people don't even really know that they're out here. So my internet radio show, I want to say I'm like the first person down here that had an internet radio show.
Yeah, no, that's dating back. That's like over 10 years.
Yeah, I started with people I'm not gonna name, but I ended up going to Universe Miami, and shout out to DJ Radimus and Carlitos guys over there. I ended up really creating this buzz from being on their station. And like I said, I think my show got so popular because nobody was doing it at the time. There was like one other radio station, but you know.
No, I mean, dating back, I've always seen you like, you were even like, I'm not too sure if that's 2009, I think. That's my favorite Best in Day mixtape. They've had other mixtapes, but that was my favorite one, where they had Billy Blue on there. They had Jimmy Dade. I think you were on there. I'm not a singer, but I think the song goes, "I can be a girl, I can be a lady." That's how it goes, right?
I don't know what you talking about, boy. Yeah.
And I heard you on there, and I was like, dang, like, where did you go? Do you remember like the first song you produced, or the first song that you rapped to, or because you have a lot of you have like Hustle Hard, Bitch Mix, right?
I don't know, child. That was some. I don't know. That was my former life, but yeah, I did a lot of music, and I got to the point where I won a Best in Day 2 awards. 2
awards, yeah.
As an artist.
Dang.
And everything, and then I just started attracting all these people, from Young Breed to Gunplay to Briscoe, Billy Blue, and all them boys did features and stuff with me, like, for free, because they just saw my grind and my work ethic, and you know, I was coming up. So when I transitioned into interviews and doing radio, it was easy for me to get them because I had already networked, I already knew them, they already saw me out here. So
no, that's dope.
That's how that happened.
So after like going from 89.1 FM, then is that when you started? Did you start Hidden Gems around that time, or?
Hidden Gems pretty much came about as my company. I've always thrown events and everything under that name, but I want to say that I really got established like 2017 as far as the whole LLC and all that.
Because I'm not gonna lie, it's you and DZ that gives me that, like, that aura of like, we're gonna bring the city out, we're gonna let you perform your song, we want to give you that platform to so everybody can see you and hear you, and that's really like unselfish of you. Where is that because of you knowing how hard it was for you, or is that just something that you always wanted to do?
Yeah, shout out to DZ, but yeah, I've been doing that, kid. You know what I'm saying? I've been on that type of wave. I've been on that vibe. That's how I started, because I saw that as I was doing these shows and stuff, like I said, there was nobody was interviewing. Nobody was playing the music and all that type of stuff. So I remember putting together like different network events with fashion shows, concerts with fused with fashion. I'm just doing everything that I could to get my name out there with keeping my integrity, being respected. And like I said, I'm from down south, so I had to come up there and participate in whatever was going on in the city up north, NMB, whatever, to really make a name for myself. But all that type of stuff, like I had shows with, you know, Flo Kid and Zoe Dollars and all kind of artists coming together. Way before
like, and you're
anybody was doing it.
Because I see like most of these rappers, like they were getting interviewed by you. They were getting interviewed by you before like 99 Jams was interviewing them. Like YD, Ball Greasy, Jim Jones, just a lot of these people, and and there's no knock to Zoe Dollars, and there's no knock to 99 Jams, but I know that it's a little bit more corporate, but still it's Miami. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's something that I like about it, that you just highlight, and you're not from like North Miami where Dress Skeezy reps, or you're not from NMB where DZ reps or Flo Kid. You're from Perrine, so like just coming from down south, going up north, going up the road. And I know there's some days where it was, you know, you probably got discouraged. What throughout those times of when you were discouraged, like what got you out of those days, like to get up and be like, you know what, I can't give up?
Well, you know, I always been coming through with the force, like now on those days it's just like a lot of times, I'm gonna say before the pandemic, I was just running the streets. You don't really get to look back and realize how far or how much. Huh?
Was that a Rick Ross plug?
What?
Running.
Oh no, yeah, but yeah, you don't realize how much you're doing or how much of an impact you're making or any of that. You just grind, you just hustling. So on those days where it gets discouraging, I just kind of had to look back, like, look how far I've come. Like, I'm in position now to where I used to be talking about this in Atlanta. I'm like, I'm going home to work with Rick Ross. A lot of things I've done, people have like laughed at me, like, huh, sure you're gonna intern for Outkast, huh? Sure you're gonna work for Rick Ross and stuff, but I've always been able to manifest stuff, like put my mind to it and be like, no, this is what I want to do, and I just go for it, and I just do it with like no fear. So on those days when I get discouraged, I just be like, look how far I've come. Or sometimes I be like, I don't do this shit no more, I'll be honest. And then somebody called me like, hey, I need you to interview somebody. Hey, I got a bag for you. I need you to do this. And I'm like, it's just naturally happening. So I'm not, you know, stopping it.
What do you, when it comes to upcoming artists in Miami, what is a couple of advice, or if it's just one advice to give them? Because I feel like most of them, they lack like just the consistency. That's on my end, and just they don't have that. They don't have PR training. They don't have a image. That's on my end. I don't know if like what is it you can give to in advice to upcoming artists.
Definitely consistency is everything.
And force.
Yeah. I'm giving Buddy a lot of buzz. I need to get that exclusive, matter of fact, now that we're talking about it. But yeah, you gotta stay consistent, and you just gotta keep getting better. Just because your homeboy saying like, yeah, this the shit, this it, don't mean it's the shit. Like, you gotta get outside your comfort zone. You gotta keep, you know, you recording artist. You gotta keep recording more music. Even when you get that hit or you feel like you got that one, it's like you gotta keep recording. You have to work on your craft. You have to keep getting better. So I would say, you know, make sure you stay in the studio, make sure you stay relevant, make sure you, and then this marketing is so big. A lot of people don't understand that You got to market yourself. You got to put yourself out there. You got to promote yourself. It can't just be you on your Instagram promoting to your homies. Like, you got to really put, just like how niggas will spend money on shoes and strip club and hoes, like, you got to put some of that money and you got to invest in yourself. Yeah, definitely invest in yourself.
Then there's artists now. I think there's two, I believe, for sure. JR 134 and the Real African Baby Tunde. They got billboards. And when I seen that, I was like, dang, that is a different, like, I like stuff like that. That's thinking outside the box rather than, you can pay a couple of dollars to get your post on Instagram sponsored, but it's thinking outside the box, getting billboard and etc.
Yeah, shout out to my homie Jig. That's the first person I saw do that with the billboard stuff. I saw him get, during Art Basel weekend, a mural of himself painted. So yeah, it's different ways you got to think of marketing yourself outside the box for people to be able to see you. I really respect that. I really respect the artists that spend money, and then quality over quantity. You could have a bunch of songs, but if they're not mixed or they don't sound good, it's like, don't be just dropping shit like just because you feel like I need to drop something, I need to stay relevant. Like, no, like, the quality is everything. Make sure your quality and stuff is on point.
Dang, man, you brought up Jig. I used to listen to Jig all like if it wasn't Ball Greasy, I was listening to only Jig. Dang, that just brought me back.
Sure. Yeah. Shout out to that boy.
You gonna check on it, or you still?
Oh yeah, let me go see about my Conch, child, because it's important. Yes. The only place to come to when you come down south, you gotta come to Carlos Seafood, the best comp. If you're from down south, you already know. If you're not, and you happen to be in the hood, make sure you come through Carlos Seafood, the best comp down south. First. Yeah, you gotta let them know Carlos Seafood. Y'all come down south. Listen, everybody know about Carlos in the hood. Check them out. Check them out, baby. This is force right here. You feel me? Yeah. I'm happy now. Thank you so much, Carlos. I appreciate you. You know, we gotta rep. We gotta let them know what's up.
You want
You came to the hood. I had to bring it to you.
Right on. Okay. You did it right.
My favorite spot. They say when you hood, you good. Like, I know they'll be expecting one of Philippe's and stuff, but yeah, a good comp, nothing like some good comp, B. Alright, I'm good. I feel so happy now.
So we just left Carlos.
Big shout out to Carlos.
Big shout out to Carlos. Alright, this is part of the interview.
Yeah. We in my hood, Perrine.
Yeah.
You feel me? Homestead Avenue, Chocolate City. What's up?
Do you feel like this area is gonna get gentrified the way like Wynwood is getting Wynwood got gentrified and the way Little Haiti getting gentrified?
I don't really know, to be honest, because I never saw what's happening in Overtown. I never expected to see it.
And it's like literally when they say across the bridge, like once you cross the bridge, it's like night and day. So you don't expect this to happen down here in Perrine?
Probably not. I don't think so.
But yeah, this part of the interview is a new segment called Check the Glove Box. So you're gonna check what's in the glove box and you're gonna explain what's in the glove box and just explain it in depth and how much it means to you. So first thing you pick out, there's two in there. So the first thing you pick out, you want it, you can explain it. So go ahead, you can check the glove box.
Now wait 1 minute now. Let me put my count down for this, cause I don't know. Don't make me have to pull out my chopper.
No.
For what's in this glove compartment.
No. Like I said, I really did my research, and that's what I do with all my interviews. And shout out to my team. You know, we dug deep.
Y'all dug deep for this?
Yeah. Not really deep, but you know, it's there. The information is there. So you can go ahead.
Oh my God.
So the first picture. We always hear about like parents, you know, working so hard and just, you know,
The duet.
yeah, parents just working hard and I've never heard two parents retiring. So explain that, like both your parents retiring.
For real? What? I wouldn't know why you all up in my business. He got my family portraits in here and stuff like that. Shout out to my good oh bueno girl. Yeah, man. My parents really inspire and motivate me. I come from a Jamaican descent, a Jamaican background. Both of them are retired.
Yeah, and growing up, you know, most kids, they have one parent working in the household, but you had two working parents, and plus they're both retired. That's like something really rare to hear about. And I think plus 45 years marriage.
Yo, I gotta start tweeting all my business, bro, because listen, now I see how the artists feel when they go to Vlad TV.
Nah, this not this not Vlad.
Nah, but shout out to my parents. Yes. I grew up in a 2-parent household. My parents are retired now. This year, God's blessing will make it to 50 years
50?
of them being married.
Dang.
Yeah, so I definitely grew up with a lot of love and loyalty. My parents are Jamaican, and I'm just so proud of them and just so honored to come from them, because I see what it took from them to leave Jamaica to come here to, you know, do something with themselves, because they were dirt poor, and it's different when you grow up in the hood, you know, overseas than when you grow up in America.
Dang. And you have I don't know if not too many people know, you have 2 older brothers.
Yes, I do.
And how did they influence you to? Because I know I always hear like, oh, you know, I got 2 other brothers. Y'all boys can't play me because I already know the game. Y'all can't run game on me because my brother already told me the game. So how was that growing up with your 2 older brothers?
Shout out to my dogs. I love my older brothers. I'm the youngest of 3 kids. Growing up with 2 guys, it was different. I was definitely like a wrestling buddy. The guinea pig to try the new wrestling moves on and stuff like that. But I appreciate my brothers because I understand growing up, like the tough love, but growing up with that, it made me more prepared for this business, honestly, because it's male dominated. So just growing up with the guys, I guess I was still a girly girl, but it kind of made me a tomboy because I didn't have older sisters or older cousins that I really looked up to like that. So I was always kind of like chilling with the boys. But I love my older brothers. My oldest brother, but both of them from New York. So I grew up listening to a lot of music. And my dad was a DJ too. So when he started off, every Saturday it would be like
cleaning the house,
listening to cleaning up the house, listening to the music, and it wouldn't just be like reggae music. We listened to a lot of Bob Marley, but it was like Marvin Gaye, a lot of different music. And then my middle brother, he followed my father's footsteps as far as being a DJ, but he had a sound. He had a sound called Josh Stream, big up Josh Stream, and he was on Mix 96 during the whole Khaled era. So a lot of times when you hear Khaled, big up to all the Empress them and all that type of stuff, they was working with the same station, 96.1 as my brother. So, and my brother's a Rasta, so I just learned a lot from him. A lot of things he did, he used to interview different artists, but like on the reggae side, and so he definitely was an influence. And what I do is how now, I did it, but I let him handle that side of the ball game, and like I really didn't want to be coming to his parties and his different stuff with his friends, because it was just like I was little sister, you know, so I couldn't holler at nobody could holler at me, like.
And I know that's, I mean,
so
that's good.
I stayed on my side with, you know, hip hop and rap outside it, because I'm from Miami, but they're from New York.
So go ahead and explain that second picture. I'm not too sure if you're hosting the mixtape, or this is your mixtape, because I know you did an intro on that mixtape.
Yeah, this right here. That's why I said I've been in the game. This from when I was wearing wigs. You feel me? Like, yeah. So this second picture right here at the glove department I was hosting a mixtape for an upcoming artist. Shout out to DJ H2. That's what I was saying. Like, man, this is so old, yo. We've been on that. That's been the mission. That's been what I started for, to help remold the culture, to help give other people exposure that I felt like the underdogs wasn't really getting exposure like that. So that's always what I've been about. It's not just a trend for me or whatever. Like I've been building my career off of that, and just being noted for getting exclusives for, you know, artists before they pop off. It'll be like, or before they get to the radio, I'm already interviewing them a year before
they even pop off.
You know. So keep going straight. I enjoy doing that.
So we coming up on South Ridge.
Yeah. One time for the Ridge, you know what I'm saying? One time for my high school. Shout out to the Spartans, you know. And if you was from down south, you know, it was either you was going to South Ridge or you was going to Killian. But, you know, shout out to the Ridge, my old stomping ground. You feel me?
When you were in high school, because I know when you were younger, you knew that you were going to be a leader, dating back from like 5 years old, that you knew that you were going to be a leader and you knew that you were going to lead.
I didn't know that from 5 years old.
Well, not from 5 years old, but I know from what I read and from what I was told that you felt like it was instilled in you from back then, where you had, dating back to that time when you remember, you were saying that you knew that you had the leadership qualities.
Yeah, from ever since I remember just being, I'm talking about from elementary school, I always had like the group of girls, and I was, you know, we had a clique called
and you did cheerleading too, right?
Yeah, we had a clique called Life, Ladies in Full Effect. And I think I was probably in like the 5th or 6th grade, and you know, we used to have our thing at the lunch table. When we finished, you got to put on your lip gloss and stuff. And I was a hustler. I always been like selling candy at the bake sale, selling like whatever. Like, and people always just knew me from, I just became, I was naturally a leader. Before I even knew what that meant, people just always followed what I was doing.
What's the right line?
It's a good straight.
Okay. So, you spoke about having like brothers around you, but the brothers I'm about to speak on is like the brotherhood of you being a part of MNG, being with having Kesey.
Kesey.
You have Young Breed around you, the rest in peace Black Bowl. Like, how did they help form you to be who you are today? Just being a part of that, not even with just Rick Ross, but just them being from down here and them knowing Miami, and how did they help you become who you are today?
And those guys are my brothers. Yes, I mean, like, I just watched them from the way that they move, and then, you know, the way that they carry themselves. And so once I got on, it was just basically like a lot of people Ross used to be asking a lot of people like about me, what they felt about me. Shout out to Sam Sneak too.
Yeah, DJ Sam Sneak, Miami legend.
Yeah, and basically when it came down and they asked about me, it was like, no, she's solid. Yeah, so with MMG, that's shout out to my brothers. Like, it's definitely been an experience of a lifetime. Like I said, I knew Breed and Gunplay and Sam Sneak and stuff like that for years. Shout out to Kesey. When I came through, I know I was annoying. Like, I would have so many questions and different things, and it was just like I really didn't have a job title. I had to kind of make myself like Ross was just like, I need you to do everything. Everything you do, I need you to just apply it. And you know, sometimes when I first started, I felt like I was going through a boot camp. We was in Atlanta. I was living up there for a few months before Rather You Than Me came out, and it'll be times where they'll get up and leave the studio house to go to the big house, the mansion, and I'm in the room minding my business. I'm taking a nap, and I wake up and I'm like, yo, where's everybody? They would have left me at the crib, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't on point. It'll be like, oh, if you're not on point, you get left. It's just like you had to just learn. It's a code that they move and they live by. If you don't know the code, you're going to get left behind. So, shout out to Kesey. You know, he was there. Black Bull, rest in peace to Black Bull. That was my love right there. Like, every time I seen Black, I just knew I was straight. Like, he's the one who honestly gave me the opportunity of getting on the stage during A3C Festival in Atlanta, and that's the moment where Ross is somebody, if he want to work with you, he gonna study for months and everything to see if he want to even deal with you. So, but that was the moment for me at the A3C Festival where it sealed the deal. I was getting like the coverage of the concert, and when I posted it on Twitter, it went viral, and then he reposted it and it continued to go viral. So after that, the next day, he hit me up and was like, you know, come to the studio. So I was like, oh shit, I must have did my thing last night, you know what I'm saying? So it was very exciting time for me, but it was also a few weeks before that, actually, Ross had DM'd me, and you know, he was asking me how I was doing and everything, and my grandmother had just passed.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it was like at one of the worst moments of my life, like another door opened for me. It's like as soon as she left, like, you know, other things opened up for me. So it was just like she was up there like an angel, like, you know, rooting for me. And so that's how I ended up telling him my grandma passed. And then I was like, you know, a few weeks later, the A3C was coming up. Could I cover him? And then he told me come through. What was I gonna rep? What I was gonna do? I'm like, I'm repping everything. And so after I did that and it went viral and stuff on Twitter, and he invited me to come by the studio, and then he asked me, you know, it was like I had the mob talk, you know what I'm saying? So from that position, you know, it was just like he ran down the do's and don'ts, what he needed from me, what he didn't. And then
Bust it up or just keep going straight.
You could just go straight. He told me the do's and don'ts and everything as far as like what I could do, what I couldn't do, how to move, everything. And he was like, I know you need a budget, right? You know, to do what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I need a little bit here. I ain't gonna hurt. And so I think I was just being tested that day because it was like I had the most Bel Air I had ever drunk. They was like passing me, you know, the trees and everything. And I just seen Sneak coming in there. And Sneak is the one, Ross told me that he told when he asked Sneak what did he think about me, Sneak was like, oh, she's solid. And he was like, I mean, solid is my word. He knows when somebody uses the word solid to me, what that means. So, you know, he was like, she was solid. So when I came and I was in there, you know, and he was giving me the rundown, Sneak was in the background like, don't fold. So I'm like, yeah, and I'm drinking. We could go straight past my office. He's like, don't fold or whatever. And so when he asked me about the budget, I'm like, yeah, you know, I could use a little something. And so he was like, all right, come on. So then we walked to like his room and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, dog, like I don't really know what this mean. What's happening now? Like, you know, and he reached up to this little spot and pulled down like a few bands, you know, and then he just started counting, like, and I'm so fucked up. I'm like, yo, this nigga cut me 100,000 bands, me, what's up, you know? And I was really excited. But of course I couldn't count the money right then to know what he was giving me, but he made it official. He really co-signed me. He really dropped some bread on me, and I knew, like, I was like, damn, like, he was like, you don't gotta worry about nothing no more, you gang, like, you ain't gotta worry about nobody trying, all this type of stuff. And he was like, all right, so I'll see you later, you know, I know you got other things to do or whatever. So I'm playing it cool and stuff, and when I got back in the car, I just cried, like, because I was like, damn, my grandma just passed, so it's like she didn't physically get to see, like, everything I've been working for, like, damn, this is what I really wanted, and she wasn't there, but I was just so happy. I was like, damn, I worked a long time to really get noticed, and it's finally happened.
I was just giving you time because I know you had to wipe your tears. So.
You see it?
Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
No, I see it through the glasses, so I was like, just giving you time. And I'm asking the next question.
Ouch. This is so annoying, yo.
No, that's cool.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I didn't even know you stayed close to Sudi, too.
To who?
Sudamar? That's where all the donks come. This is like donk.
Oh, yeah, with all the little.
Yeah, right here, Sudamar.
I be seeing them all the time. I be like, let me use that for a video shoot. Okay, I don't know if you wanna.
Bust a left right here.
Yeah, this is my office.
I want to ask you, how did you being a brand ambassador for Bel Air come about too, as well?
That's a funny thing with Bel Air. I had always been doing different photo shoots, and once I started my show, my internet radio show, I used to have different artists. Every time they would come through, the only thing I would ask them is for a bottle of Bel Air. So every week I used to tag Bel Air for like 4 years. I was doing this, and then finally I interviewed Lex. Shout out to Lex Promotion. And he came through, and he had my first case, and I was just so excited, like, yeah, boy, I've been grinding this whole time to get this case. And then, once I got with Ross, I told him, I would be needing Bel Air for my events and everything. And so I was getting ready to do this. You could make a left. Oh, okay, this way too. I was getting ready. What was I saying? Because you went this way. I didn't tell you to go this way, but I guess you wanted to go this way.
No, it's good. No, but you were saying you were getting ready. You just got a case from Lex, and you was excited from getting the case of Bel Air from Lex.
Okay, yeah. So I was excited. I was like, yes, I made it. I finally got my first case or whatever from Lex. And then from there, I ended up doing a photo shoot, and it went viral. And so that shoot is what made Ross say, nah, like, who is this girl right here in my city? But I had already strategized and planned it, and I had told my homeboy, O the God, shout out to O. I was like, I'm about to do this photo shoot. I'm going to get this nigga Ross attention. Watch. And once again, he believed in me, but telling certain people stuff, it's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And it literally happened like that. The pictures started going viral, and that's when he wanted to know who I was. But outside of Ross, I made a lot of relationships within the Bel Air company.
Maxwell Amazing.
Shout out to Maxwell. Yeah, but outside of just meeting people, in the business and networking with them, and then continuing to do my exclusive photo shoots and my shows and my events and just tagging them and everything, and that helped me build a great relationship with them. I don't think in maybe one time in 4 years they might have ever told me no, like to support me, and that was because they didn't have enough time to like send it. But everything that I do, they're 100% behind me. So I was really becoming a brand ambassador before I even knew what that meant, you know. And also with my show, people would just be bringing me their merch and their clothes and everything to wear, so I was just repping it. So before even the term brand ambassador came about, I was already doing that, and I would be wearing people's stuff or different stuff, and you know, it would increase like traffic to their site or revenue. And this was, like I said before, I even knew what it meant. So that's always just been in me, like, you know, showing love to people brands and promoting it. So that's how I became a brand ambassador.
Oh, that's dope, man.
And then also, I started to say, I did a shoot. I was getting ready to do a shoot, and I hollered at Kiko. Shout out to Kiko, DJ Khaled's manager, and I told him I wanted to do like a gold and white photo shoot. And so instead of him just sending me cases, he made me a brand ambassador, a Lux brand ambassador with DJ Khaled. So
wow.
So I was already getting stuff because of Ross, and then because of Khaled, I ended up on this other like special list. So that's why people are like, how come you get all this stuff? It's like, because I'm in the gang. I'm gang. That's why, yeah.
That's dope. We coming to the end of the interview. Is anybody you want to shout out? We also ask like who else do you see coming on this platform? If there's anybody that you could have on this platform, like who would you have on here?
On here?
Yeah.
I want to say shout out to the artists, shout out to everybody that ever gave me a chance to interview them, all the black businesses, entrepreneurs, and everybody. And I think this platform is great. Shout out to Come Up Miami. Anybody who's on the come up, I feel like, you know, you should check them out. As long as they grind and put in that work, then, you know, they need to come to Come Up Miami.
Nah, for sure. It's your boy Matt, and we checking out with Empress Raw.
Force.
May the force be with you. Force. Moolah. Y'all niggas too old, still asking for handouts. You say you up 20 bands, go help your man out. 2 broke niggas in the crib, now y'all assed out. 2 broke niggas quarantined with no paper towels. This is wet room, baby, you can feel the force. RP Paul Walker, I just wrecked the Porsche. Boy, let your nuts hang, I been jumped off the porch.